Welcome to Ron's RC Garage in Peoria, Arizona. It is Sunday, July 5th. I hope everybody had a very happy and safe 4th. Ginger and I certainly did. Had a good time. Fear Farm not racing yesterday, so they had an open practice Friday night. And I normally don't go down for those. But I had a reason for going down. Took the little car down. We practiced for about 3 hours, ran a lot of fuel through this car, and learned a lot. What my intent was, and it worked out really good, is I approached Frank Gallo, who is an extremely accomplished buggy and truggy driver. He is sponsored by Mugen and Navarasi, and Frank is wicked fast. He drives very extremely aggressive, but he can toss one of these cars around. Been doing it a long time. In his profession, he's a teacher. What better guy to go to? A lot of knowledge and communication skills. And at my age, I need a lot of both. So I approached him. I asked him to drive my car. He had the time due to the fact he was breaking in some engines, just heat cycling them and so forth right on the bench. So he said, sure, Ron. So he drove it around, whipped it around. The track was very dry when he drove it. The car was extremely loose. And he said, Ron, that's the nature of that 8.2. It's going to be that way. And according to my research, he's exactly right. And I told him I had a RC8B3 on order, and he said, Ron, that's going to be a vast improvement as far as suspension and so forth, especially in the back. And he said, basically, you got a Mugen front end. It's going to be on it, and of course, everybody knows that. Really looking forward to this new one. They keep on kicking back the release date. It was supposed to be out middle of last month. It's supposed to be released next week. And of course, I'll be going down to Quick's RC and picking one up. They've got one on order for me, and they'll give me a buzz as soon as that thing hits the store. It's going to be a fun build. Getting back to the premise, Frank really educated me a lot on how I've been very consistent, but I'm not fast. Every time I try and go faster, I get in trouble. And the problem is being consistent on jumps. So Frank schooled me a lot, gave me some targets to work on. I think I can totally accomplish it. It's going to take a lot of practice. But he gave me just a lot of time and just tons of information. And I can't begin to thank him enough. It's a great experience. We have been doing a few other things. We haven't been racing the last couple of weeks due to the fact they haven't been. The heat's on. We race next Saturday. So we'll have this thing all torn down, squeaky clean, inspected and ready to roll. Another guy that's really helped me a lot is Gentry, who's very accomplished also in buggy and truggy. And he's given me several sets of used tires, and they're not used up by any stretch of the imagination. So I have a really good tire selection now to work with for the dry and the wet and just whatever. We did whip up a fresh body for this car. It's nothing special, plain and simple like me. I'm a little tough on bodies. So we'll be putting that one on here in the near future. See how that works out. Getting back to the B3, which I'm really looking forward to. I don't want to do anything with this car. I want to leave it totally intact for a backup. It's a good solid little car, and I like to run it. I really like that Reedy VRST. Unfortunately, to best of my knowledge, this engine's been discontinued. So I popped on eBay and I found one new in the box for $200. I had to do that. You know, these things got the ADLC coatings, they got ceramic bearing. They're cost effective, and so far the longevity seems good. So I was tickled to death with that. Also in conversation, there's another guy out the track that runs E-Truggy. He was contemplating going to Nitro and bought a Alpha A852 Bill Mason did about a 3-hour bench break-in on this engine. Never been installed in a car. So I went ahead and got my hands on that too. So we got some options for the B3. Did a little hand scratching math. We're going to do a little gear change. We're going to drop the gearing a little bit in the 8.2 and probably the B3 also. The current track configuration is pretty tight and technical. It flows nice, but it's not real high speed except for the back straightaway. And my corner speed is not fast enough yet. So I need a little more punch to make these jumps and get them cleared and get consistent. So I'm going to drop the gearing a little bit. I think the engine will take it. If we flip a rod, we flip a rod. Got to do something. The way it is right now, it won't do what I need it to do the way I do it. So time to do some more changes. I'm good with that. Whatever happens, happens. That's kind of it. Hope everybody has a great week. We got some fun stuff to work on. Can't wait to do that build on the B3. Just going to take my time. We're going to do a little chassis reinforcing with some 1/4x1/4 T6. With my lousy jumping, sometimes a clutch bell hits the chassis. Did a reinforcing on this one. Didn't add hardly any weight to the car, and of course now that problem doesn't exist anymore. It's a little tough on clutch bearings, and sure it's not the best thing on the engine bearing. It was bottoming out so hard. So we're gonna treat the B3 the same way. That kind of is it. Everybody have a great week, safe week. We'll be out of the heat here in about another 7 weeks, but it's fine the way it is. Racing at night's not bad. Once it cools down, sun goes down, track holds some moisture, and it gets pretty fast. I'd like to thank everybody for watching, and we'll talk to you later.